Hi, it's Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I thought I'd do my other little pencil topper, a Loomigurumi style. This is my little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style, and as you can see I've got red, purple and orange. So today we're going to do, red, purple and blue. Today we're going to do our orange one. Nice and easy, doesn't take up too many bands. Things you're going to need: whatever colour you're doing the bandana. So I'm doing orange, so I'm going to be using orange bands for that. But if you're using purple, blue, red, whatever. I'm using the Rainbow Loom Neon Green. I'm using, these are a Loom Bands brand of sort of tan colour, but if you've got the Rainbow Loom skin tone pack, you can use the tan colour from that. I'm using Rainbow Loom Cocoa for his little shell on his back. As I said, neon green. Going to use a hook. I'm using a 2.75. You're going to need googly eyes. Now, I have these googly eyes. They're about a 7mm, and they do have the little slit on the back. You don't need to have the ones with the slit on the back. You don't need to spend the extra money and get the ones with the slit on the back. You can buy the ones from your local craft shop, which are very cheap. They come in a variety of different sizes, and you can use a knife to slit down the back and make this. And I have a video tutorial on how to do that, and I will put that link in the description so that you can find how to do that. Okay, you're going to need a stitch marker. If you don't have a stitch marker like me, you can use an S clip or a C clip. They work just as well. You're going to need a threader of some sort, and the threader is to thread the eyes with a band. I use a metal threader. I have a video again in tips and tricks on how to make one from a twisty tie, so it's very easy. And you can use dental floss or whatever you normally do to thread your beads, but beads and eyeballs and stuff. But I find the metal one is better because it's rigid, so as you're poking it through, it doesn't sort of flop all over the place. So completely up to you. Again, I will put the link on my tutorial on how to make one of these in my description. So there we go. I've just threaded my little eyes. They are ready for use, and you thread them with the colour that you're doing the bandana. Let's get started. We're going to have 6 bands to start with, and a single band, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and a single band to start our magic ring. I'm going to zoom in so that you can see me nice and clearly. So we're doing a magic ring with 6. I'm using my loom peg to do that. You don't have to. If you're capable and confident about doing it on your hook, please do so. It's actually quicker. So single band, wrap it once and twice around your hook or your peg. Push your hook through. Let's do a quick magic ring. I'm going to do this quickly because I'm going to assume that you have looked at my beginner's guide to Loomigurumi and are familiar with these stitches. If you're not, please do so. I don't want to hear anybody yelling at me that I'm going too fast or they don't know what I'm doing. It's very clear on my beginner's guide, okay, on how to do this. We're just doing a little magic ring, just like this, poking your hook through, drawing back a band, doing a slip stitch, things are falling all over the place, and joining them together. Take that off when you have 6 stitches and just wiggle it around so they're spread evenly. And that's all that you need your loom for, because this is really a loomless design. You don't need your loom. Now what we're going to do, 12, so that's 3, 6, 9, oh look at that, I've got 12 stitches in these 6 stitches, which means we're doing an increase. So poke your hook through the first stitch and you're doing an increase, which is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So as number 1 on your first stitch, you're going to put your stitch marker. Number 2 in that same stitch. Okay, let's go back into the second stitch and we'll do 2 in here, 1 and 2 in the third stitch, 1 and 2, fourth stitch, 1 and 2, fifth stitch, 1 and 2, a sixth stitch, 1 and 2. Now we're going to do a complete round of single crochet, which is 12 stitches for the next round. So go through your first stitch, draw back your first band, single crochet, and put your stitch marker on it. We're going to go all the way around. Oops. Just doing single crochet, like so. Our next round we're going to do a colour change and move to orange. So changing to orange, we're going to push our hook through that first stitch, draw back the orange in a slip stitch, so add this green loop to it and do your slip stitch and move your stitch marker to that first orange band. We're going to go all the way around doing orange. You should have 12 stitches in total, which means 12 bands for this round. The next round is going to be orange as well, but on that round we're actually going to add our little eyes. So around we go. At the end, now if you see, this is where we join. This is the slip stitch. This is not our first stitch. We go through the first stitch, which is here, with our stitch marker through it, and do a single crochet and change your stitch marker to that as our first stitch. Now that was number 1. We're going to count 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6 is going to have the little eye. So with your band with your eye on it, push through stitch number 6, pull through one side, reclaim and do a single crochet as you would normally. Number 7 is going to be a single band. Number 8 is going to be the other eye, or bead or rubber band, whatever you're using, okay, and then continue to the stitch marker with your orange. Now the thing to remember is, until we start doing our decreases, every round should have 12 stitches, 12 bands. Okay, so I'm back to the beginning here. We have to change back to green. So I'm going to get rid of these orange bands and we're going to do green. Again, it's a colour change, so push your hook through that first stitch, draw back your green and do a slip stitch and move your stitch marker to that band. And we're going to do a complete round of green single crochet. That was stitch number 1. This is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and here's our last stitch, 12. Now our next rounds are going to be a mixture. At the back they're going to be the green, and at the front we're going to use some of the tan bands. Okay, so this next round we're going to do a single crochet in green, move your stitch marker. Our second stitch is green. Our third stitch is green, but we're going to add the arm to it as well. So push your hook through, and we're going to build our arm on this part. So take a single band, wrap it once, twice and 3 times. Take a pair of bands and slide that wrapped band onto that pair of bands. Don't reclaim just yet. Take another single band, wrap once, twice and 3 times, and now reclaim. A single band, and you're going to slide this onto it. Okay, reclaim. Now just pinch. What you're going to do is take one side here and pull it through the stitch. Okay, so pull it through, grab the other side, one over the other, and join together. Okay, that was number 1, 2, 3. That was 4. No, that was 3, wasn't it? So number 4. I've got to make sure we're not losing anything. That was 3. This is 4 here. We're changing to tan. So go through. You're going to add this loop and do a slip stitch. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 9 is going to be where we change back to green, but again we have to add an arm. So push your hook through, let's wrap once, twice and 3 times, slide it onto a pair, take another single band, wrap once, twice, 3 times, reclaim, and slide all onto a single. Again, pinch it and hold it tight so you don't lose it. And this is the loop we're going through, but we want to add the brown, the tan loop onto that as well, because it's a slip stitch. So in we go. Okay, and now we do a slip stitch like that. So that's our slip stitch. So that was 9. Back to green, 10, 11 and 12. This next round is really tricky because where we have the slip stitch it's hard to kind of see, and it's easy to lose count here. So number 1 stitch is green, and move your stitch marker. Number 2 is green. Here we are here. Okay, number 3, now this is a tricky one. Okay, this is number 3 that has the arm on it, not this little brown one, that's a slip stitch, but this one here is number 3. Okay, and we're going to change with 3 into the tan, add that loop and do a slip stitch. Okay, skip this slip stitch and go in here into this next stitch next to it, right there. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7. Now in this stitch here, which is tan, okay, we're doing a green colour change. So green, pull through, add your tan loop and do a slip stitch. This is our slip stitch here where we colour change, so this is our next stitch. And we just single crochet till we get to our stitch marker. If you miss a stitch here or there, it's really not the end of the world, because we are going to be bringing it in to hug our pencil, so it's not too much of a problem. Okay, this next round, through stitch number 1 with a green with your stitch marker. Number 2 is a green. Number 3, so this is our slip stitch, this is our third stitch, is tan, and you do a slip stitch because it's changing colour, and we do tan, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Let's try that again, Kate. There we go. Now this is where we change colour, so this is our slip stitch, that tiny little green one there. So this is our actual stitch that we're going to go through. Do a slip stitch to change colour, and around we go to our stitch marker. Now we don't need to use the tan anymore, so I'm going to put that away. I'm at the end here. Our next round is going to be all green. We're going to put our first stitch in to stitch number 1 and do a single crochet. Move your stitch marker. Now we're going to do decreases, so go into number 2 and number 3. So number 2 and number 3, and do a decrease. Number 4 will be a single crochet. Number 5 will be a decrease. Six, make sure you get the next one, will be a single crochet, and the next one will be a decrease. Now skip the slip stitch, so going here and here. You can really take this stitch marker off because we're just making it smaller. The next stitch is here, single crochet, and then we're going around again, and this time we're just going to do decreases. Now this time I'm going through both stitches, both loops of both stitches, to make it a tighter decrease. I'm not really worried that you will see the knobbly joins. I'm just going to do decrease all the way around till I get to the back again. One, and this is going to be my last one, because as you can see my hook is at the back. And now here I'm just going to tie off by going through the next stitch to it. I'm not going to the opposite side of it, I'm just to the next stitch to it. And pull tight. And that I'm just going to tuck up inside my little ninja somewhere, if I can. Come on, you. Try that again. There we are. Pull it tight and let it go, and that will just sit inside. Now this little space up here is where our pencil will go when we're ready. You want it to be in the middle where you tied off. If you can, find that spot. Doesn't really matter where, but it's going to be around this area here. Okay, and that's where we tied it off at. Now, two more things to finish it off. You're going to put your hook through here, like that, and with a single orange band, pull it through, stretch it out, and tie a knot. Just one little knot like that, and that is the sides of his bandana. Now for the shell for his back, I'm using the dark cocoa. Let's do a quick magic ring. So I've gone around 3 times on my hook, so I've wrapped it once and twice. I'm going to take a single band. We're going to do a magic ring of 6. This is my first one. I'm going to pinch that little end cap that I made and do a single crochet. Now you can use, if you get a bit lost as to, you look at this and you think, where on earth am I supposed to put my band through? What you can do, wrap it once and twice. Okay, take your next band to pull through. Now you can see that these are the 3 little loops here. So what you can do is get your stitch marker and pull them through like that. Single crochet with your first band, pull through again for your second band. That's 2. Oh, broken band. 3, 4. Take this out now, it's well and truly established. 5, 6, and now we're going to do 12 little stitches. Go through the first stitch here, and we're doing an increase in each, so it's going to be 12 bands. So 1, back in the first stitch again for our second, 2, second stitch, 3, 4, third stitch, 5, 6, next stitch, fourth stitch, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, you're going to go through the next stitch and we're going to do a slip stitch. Put them all together on the same and pull tight like so, and then on the opposite side we're going to go through, put your hook, grab another band, do a slip stitch just by itself. Okay, that's a little shell. You need to turn it on our back and push your hook through the center of where we joined our arm and pull one side through, splay it open and wrap around the arm, then you're going to twist and wrap it around the arm again. Okay, like that, and we're going to do the same on the other side. Push your hook through the center between where these little bands join, pull through, you need to twist it around once and then twist it around a second time. You can do it more than two times if you want to, more than twice if you want to, if you're a bit worried that it's not going to be terribly secure, but it should be perfectly secure. And this is how I did my little turtle. I've got to find where his little opening is here. There we go. There's my little, I don't know the names of them. There's my little team of turtles. I hope you enjoy making them. Take care. Bye.